Everybody who works with clay takes their influences in their life and then they bring that in and make it what they want to do. And I like to be fun and happy, and so what I like to make is stuff that's just joyful, that gives you pleasure, that makes you feel good. And so I know some people think art needs to be dark and serious, but I'm serious about my art, but I like to make fun art. I wanted to take art classes because that's what I really enjoyed. So I took every art class that I could, and I fell in love with clay. So I started making pottery just for fun, and I thought maybe I would be a commercial artist, going along with my other art that I was doing. And then I realized I really love pottery. So I started making more and more and more until all of a sudden I was a potter. So usually when I come out here in the mornings, I have pieces covered up with plastic because things dry slowly. So I uncover things, I let them air dry a little bit, and then that's how I get started in the mornings. I unload and load my kilns, which are in the other room, and then after I do that, then I sit down and start working on projects. So this is my wheel that I sit at right here, and I can throw pots or do bowls or cups or mugs or whatever I feel like doing that day. Usually I have a routine so I know what I'm going to make and kind of stick with that for the day. I like that I am just creating because I like to make things. I just love to create, and clay lets me create in all sorts of different ways. Like if you draw, it's flat and you're just drawing. But when it's clay, you can make it round and you can draw on it, or you can change it up. You can one day make bowls and the next day make a sculpture. So there's so many things you can do with the clay. That's why I think I've drawn more to clay than I am to other art. When I sit down, I still like doing other art too myself, and I'll draw myself and do other things, but what I really like is clay. If I don't do it for a while, I really miss it. I forget how magical it is because I do it every day. But if I ever have a child that comes in and watches me throw a pot, all of a sudden I realize from their eyes how exciting it is. And it is still exciting for me, but I sometimes forget because I just do it so often. But it is when you watch that clay just come from a lump and it turns into something. And what I want it to turn in, it turns into most of the time. Once in a while, maybe not. And then I start over. That's the good part. But most of the time, if I set my mind to making something, it just starts with a lump of clay, which is just dirt out of the ground. And it can become something that's useful and functional and pretty, something somebody wants in their house.